Welcome, Urho.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good to be here with you, Jussi.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Before we start, a quick question. How many times have we done webinars together?
At least 5.
At least?
At least 5.
At least
yes.
5. It's been great. But anyway, we have a great show today together with Urho and our special guests. And we will be going through all the latest things happening on the Varjo Reality Cloud. So our agenda will be as follows. So we will do a short introduction to history of the Reality Cloud together with Urho. Then our head of product, Matt, will join us for the product overview. And then a really cool story together with the CEO of Zoan, how they are using Unreal and the Reality Cloud. And then a deep dive into actually Unreal Engine with Victor from Epic Mega Games. Then we will do a live demo with Jan Christian from Unity. And after that, small greetings from AWS. And after that one, a live Q&A on all your questions about the Varjo Reality Cloud. We will have a set of really cool people speaking today. Urho and myself, Matt, Markus, who's the Director of Partnerships, and then our special guests, Mika, Jan Christian, Victor, and Samantha. So it will be a packed show and really great to give you all the updates, what is happening on the Varjo Reality Cloud. But before that one, maybe a little bit history of the Varjo Reality Cloud. So, you know, Varjo was started based on the human eye resolution, virtual reality, mixed reality. What do you think, Urho, what led us into the path of actually putting cloud in the center of everything we are doing?
I mean, it really boils down to that we're very much looking always into the future, a certain time frame, a few years ahead, so the things are roughly predictable. And one of the obvious things whenever you start doing any kind of cable-connected appliances is that ultimately everybody wants them to become wireless. And we do see that also in our future, it's going to be wireless. But the question comes really quickly that, okay, if you actually go wireless, does it also mean that you're shrinking the amount of compute? So that you're actually going to be having a phone in your head, essentially, for the compute, like 5 watts at best for GPU compute, 2-3 watts for the CPU, compared to how our customers today run the headset, which is easily like 500 watts of GPU compute, a couple of 100 watts of CPU, and incredible memory bandwidth, so that you can actually have like a human eye resolution, but also fidelity, so that the content actually looks brilliant. Real-time ray tracing, reflections, shadows, all that jazz. So it's really difficult to say that all those things get crammed like in a short-ish time frame into a mobile chip running at a couple of watts. That simply is not possible. So we started thinking a couple of years back how to actually sort this out, how to solve it. And for us, the solution was pretty obvious that we need to move the compute to the cloud. Sure, it could be also done that you can have a wireless tether to a PC, for example, but that kind of doesn't function in the mobile society of today. It doesn't help that you would be lugging a desktop PC with you, and then you wouldn't have a cable between those, but you still are like 20 kilograms with you in a huge bag everywhere. That just doesn't work. But offloading the compute to the cloud solves the problem. You have infinite scalability of the cloud, so you can provide just as great quality visuals as you want, and it works everywhere. Like,
well, do you remember the first time you actually, I remember it really well, the first time seeing that content streaming from the Reality Cloud in human eye resolution. I thought it was magical. How can it be? How was the first time you saw it, like actually working with the transport, foveated transport algorithm?
I mean, I saw it much earlier than you. So yeah. I saw the first incarnations of it, and we were working with Mikko Strandberg back in those days on the core tech, and it started feeling, hold on, so we can actually pull this off. And one of the realizations was that by using the foveation, as in knowing where the user is looking at and compressing everywhere else really effectively, we can actually keep the image quality and make it so small that we can achieve low enough latency to move the thing to the cloud. We were kind of first thinking it would be the desktop PC, but then we realized that, hold on, this is much more. This is going to be revolutionary.
Exactly, and that's what it is. And next up, Urho will have a chat with our head of product, Matt, and you will go deep into the update of running Unity and Unreal through Varjo Reality Cloud.
All right. Good to have you with us, Matt, and welcome. So Matt is the head of product for the Varjo Reality Cloud. And just to recap for everybody, could you just do a quick overview, run through of how Varjo Reality Cloud actually operates for the customers, whereas we talk a bit more abstract fashion previously?
Sure. It's pretty much like it is in the slide that is right behind us. You need a headset. Obviously, it all starts with a headset, preferably a Vario headset. You plug that one into a computer. In this case, it is a laptop. Could be a desktop computer, but laptop is better. And then after that, it all goes to the cloud. And the interesting bit is that all the heavy lifting, like rendering, is happening in the cloud, and all the seamless collaboration, facilitation is also happening there.
Excellent, thanks. So how about then? Now, of course, we have news, and could you just go through those quickly to us? What is it actually that we're extending on the Varjo Reality Cloud today?
Yeah, what is it that we're actually doing? Well, it would make sense to mention that we started off with supporting a piece of software called Autodesk VRED, which is an amazing, awesome industrial goods, industrial design review piece of software. It's very specialized, though. Now we're adding the support of Unity and Unreal Engine, meaning that you could take almost any Unity and Unreal project that you built in-house or got from someone and launch it, upload it to the Varjo Reality Cloud and launch it from off there. And this is amazing because it happens so that Unity and Unreal are the most popular together 3D engines in the world. Most of both consumer and business virtual reality 3D experiences are built with their help.
Absolutely stellar, so thanks. Then going on, you did mention previously about laptops. Now, before, we have been supporting very, very limited laptops, but the Varjo Reality Cloud is now also changing that proposition. So can you talk a little bit more into that one?
Yeah, sure. Laptop is the key word here because it's not a given. Actually, previously, before the Varjo Reality Cloud, you couldn't even, at least not officially, use the high-end, high-quality headsets like Vario XR3 with laptops, period. They were not officially supported. They're not powerful enough for that. You usually need it even locally. The fairly bulky, the fairly expensive workstation-style computer costing something in the realm of $4,000 to $5,000 or euros, and that was a limitation. Now we're enabling with Varjo Reality Cloud the similar virtual reality experiences, but with a way less expensive and way less bulky computers. Our clients and ourselves, we've tested quite a lot of different models. Some of them are up on the screen, not limited to those though. And the interesting bit that you could mention, you could notice there and is worth mentioning is some of the fairly attractively sub $2,000 or euro priced mid-segment laptops. That's great from the two perspectives. So first, that kind of pricing gives you a very attractive TCO and ROI compared to the fully local costs. And then also, laptops are lightweight and they're mobile, which is the key word. You can now use the virtual reality commercial experiences on the go.
Yeah, excellent. Like, it's one of the things that throughout the years of Vario, I have been lugging so many 20-kilogram desktop pieces with me through airport controls and security checks that, like, this would have been a godsend a few years back already. And now it's going to be godsend to most of our customers as well. So, like, really stellar job, I think, and making things lighter weight, more approachable. But going from that one to actually using the cloud, latency is one of the key things in any cloud-based real-time experiences. And we launched the Varjo Reality Cloud in the spring in USA alone, West Coast, East Coast instances. But how's the progression been throughout this year?
Well, there's been quite some progress. Spoiler alert, let's look at the map. As you said, we started off with the US, with the Americas region, and there's a good reason for that. Varjo Reality Cloud prides itself in great quality, and for that quality you need the superior servers supporting what's going on. And in case of the AWS, those servers are the forefront, the best currently commercially available G5 server instances. And they're quite new, even to AWS. So when we started, the Americas was the only region when they're available, and as AWS kept expanding, we kept adding those locations, adding Dublin, adding Frankfurt, adding Tokyo, and a bunch of other secondary locations. So now in total, we're present in 7 server HubSpots. We have dozens of server instances available, and most importantly, all of that gives us great latency in all of the official Vario markets, which is the Americas, Western Europe, and some of the Asian countries.
Exceptional. So pretty much in all markets that we're serving, we have also a really good Varjo Reality Cloud service these days.
Yeah.
So really, really great news. So then, of course, it quite often comes down to money. So let's talk about money. What's going to be now the price offering for the new Unreal and Unity instances for the customers? So.
Sure. We have made our pricing model more flexible, at the same time keeping it fairly straightforward. It all revolves around the basic proposition that is priced at $299, either euros or dollars, depending on where you are, per concurrent user per month. That means the true concurrent licenses, you could have 5 users overall within the company benefiting from, let's say, 2 concurrent user licenses. There's some baked-in volume discounts, and there's also the very new thing, the fairly, I would think, attractively priced bundle of Vario Aero and 3 months of VRC access for $26.90. Now, conceptually, numbers aside, the important thing to mention about this would be that that's a SaaS product in the truest sense. That means that whatever new functionality we're going to be adding, and we are shipping new functions pretty much every week, it's going to be part of the same package. So to the consumers and to our clients, the value of the bundles will be strictly rising over time.
Exceptional.
I wanted to flip the gears here and actually ask you about something. So some of our customers, especially the ones who have tried out Varjo Reality Cloud, have noticed the great quality. On a tech side, an engineering question, what made that possible?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hinted to it when we discussed with Jussi about this one. So our focus has all through the years at Vario been on high quality. And when we started doing the headsets, we didn't start comparing us against competition like arbitrarily, do we want to do 2x higher resolution than the consumer headsets or 4x. We didn't think at any moment like that. So our focus was, how good does it need to be? And we asked, how good does it need to be? Answer is the same as you can actually see, which is 20/20 vision, and that's at us that we want to build devices that provide 60 pixels per degree. It doesn't need to get better than that, and if it's less than that, then you are not seeing what you would be seeing in the real life. And that obviously set for us the same target for the Varjo Reality Cloud streaming. So it needs to be 60 pixels per degree. And to achieve that, we created the foveated transport that keeps the image quality pristine, perfect at the place that you look at, and then it degrades super fast. And that keeps the latency down, the packet sizes down, and still keeping the image quality perfect.
Cool, cool, cool. What about some of the more advanced features like chroma keying that a lot of our customers have been taking advantage of in the local mode?
Yeah, so a lot of these like more advanced mixed reality features are done through Vario Lab tools, and those Vario Lab tools work in our setups exactly as they used to do. So you basically punch it up on the laptop, and then you enable a chroma key color, or you add marker trackings. These sort of things all work the same as always, including hand occlusions, depth masking, all of those things you just enable the same way as always. So it's super easy.
Great to hear that. Well, I guess that's it for me for now. I'm going to be back for the FAQ. Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah, thank you.
At SOAN, we have created this incredible photorealistic metaverse called Cornerstone with Unreal Engine. Now with Varjo Reality Cloud, it's possible to stream it in high fidelity to basically anyone.
When I tried Varjo Reality Cloud the first time, I was in disbelief. I personally have been thinking that it takes years before we can even test cloud-rendered virtual reality experiences.
This is not a local build. This is something that is being streamed all the time, and that was amazing.
Varjo Reality Cloud is super simple to use. You just upload the Unreal Engine file, and from there it's accessible by anyone in your organization. And this is a huge thing for content creators in terms of distribution, but for the users in terms of accessibility.
HoloLabo is one of the leading content studios in Japan. We create high-quality 3D experiences for our clients. With Varjo Reality Cloud, we can now take these experiences to a new level.
アンリアルエンジンは非常に簡単に高品質なビジュアライゼーションコンテンツを作ることができる点が優れていると思います。
Vario Reality Cloud は高品質なソフトウェアを軽量な PC で表示することが可能になっていることに非常に驚きを感じました。
It feels like immersive streaming technology has matured. Now we can push the limits of Unreal even with regular laptops.
I just think now that the future we are visioning in Cornerstone is so much closer than what I have been thinking before. All those details really come into light with the human eye resolution of Varjo Reality Cloud.
All right, there we heard some amazing testimonials from all around the world, from developers and creators using Unreal together with the Varjo Reality Cloud. And now I have a special guest here with me, here in Vario HQ, Mika, the CEO and founder of SOAN. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Lovely to be here.
Yeah, could you give a short introduction to SOAN?
Yeah, so we are a virtual studio founded 12 years ago, and we have been building these virtual worlds, starting from real estate to high-end brands all around in Japan, in US, and also we then spinned off our own metaverse as we have been building it such a long time. So now we have also Cornerstone, which is our own metaverse.
Yeah, and that is, by the way, amazing. It's a photorealistic piece of the metaverse. I've never seen anything like that. So congratulations on that one. And it's been really exciting to work together with you on running it through the Reality Cloud. So can you explain a little bit about your experience when you first time stream it through the Reality Cloud?
Yeah, so I got to say that there has been 3 moments in VR that have been like really meaningful for me. And first time when I tried almost 10 years ago some random first headset and being in the virtual reality, and the second time when I tried for the Vario headset for the first time and seeing that quality and being able to have everything with the human eye resolution. So that was the moment where I realized that all these would be possible that I had been dreaming for decades. But then now with the Reality Cloud, all that running with the streaming, so that just opens up all these new possibilities that we cannot wait to be able to explore in all of our different projects.
Yeah, and same for me when I was checking out Cornerstone through the Reality Cloud, it really kind of like, is this local? Is this streaming? You couldn't then anymore tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what do you feel for now for the future? I mean, like now that you can stream not only individual objects, but actually stream entire worlds around you. How does it make you feel for somebody who's leading as ambitious project as Cornerstone? Like, where does it get you, your creative mind?
Yeah, so when you think about metaverse, which is about of having all that new content coming daily and hourly, and that has been always the bottleneck, that when users would need to every time download some new content packages, and that would be making the user experience very clunky when every time you enter you would need to download something. So it's not just significant, but it actually, with the Reality Cloud, it pretty much changes everything. As now, all these content creators just keep on updating their content, and you as a user, you just get to explore all these stuff with the streamed metaverse. So that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And what is now the vision? What's the next step for the Cornerstone for the photorealistic metaverse you're creating? What are the next steps?
Yeah, so as we already have a huge amount of, as we have been able and lucky to have these landowners who are the partial owners of Cornerstone, which is extremely exciting. That it's not just a project that spinned off from Zoan as its own company, but it's actually, we are doing it together with these landowners. So what we're now currently using some AI tools for concepting stuff for these landowners, and being able to actually start to see the landowners building their buildings to Cornerstone, creating content on those, and then starting to actually welcome people to test all that content.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. And now with the Reality Cloud being one tool, you are able to deploy. What is the thing that is now becomes possible with the Reality Cloud?
Yeah, so because exactly like the constant content updates, so that is one of the biggest things for us. And also remain the quality, as we've been always using Unreal, being able to focus on the photorealistic metaverse, and then if you would need to start optimizing for the lower quality headsets, we would lose our advantage and our thing and our identity. So now with the Reality Cloud, we're actually able to provide the same quality what we have been able to do with the local builds.
And now stream it.
Now streaming it.
And it's great, and thanks for the great partnership. And we continue to work together to define that next generation photorealistic metaverse, and really happy to continue that one. And as said, you are experts on Unreal, and you have done amazing things for that one. So anyone out there, Zoan, leading studio in Europe, maybe even in the whole world. But really, Unreal is like big part of your workflow and your tool. And next up, we have our head of partnership, Markus, talking with Victor from Epic. So talking about the Unreal Engine and how Unreal Engine and Reality Cloud work together. So take it away, Markus.
Great. Thanks, Jussi. Yeah, so I'm Markus. I'm leading our partnerships teams, and our team is responsible for all the having relationships with all the software companies and all the developers, also like Zoan and so, who are and Epic, who are building software for our headsets, and now also building stuff for our cloud products. So I'm very excited today to have a direct connection here with Epic's headquarters in Cary, US. So Victor Brodin, how are you?
I'm doing good. Good morning.
Great. Good morning. Morning for you, yes, and afternoon for us. So Victor, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role at Epic? What are you doing there?
Sure. I'm a product specialist here at Epic on Unreal Engine. I'm assigned to the XR team, where we try to make our XR tools as great as they can be.
Awesome. And I heard that you have one of our headsets there. I do. That. Great.
Yeah.
The XR3. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, so here at Vario, we really love Unreal Engine, and so does many of our customers. So they're using Unreal for a number of things, like visualizing architecture and doing design reviews for cars, and using it for flight simulators and many other things. So and earlier this spring, you just released Unreal 5, which is packed with a lot of great tools for visualization and rendering. And now recently also you released the 5.1, the update. So we're super excited to see how this works together. So what would you say, like, what are you excited about with Unreal Engine 5?
Well, generally speaking, we moved from floats to doubles, which is very important if you're trying to do simulation or large open worlds. We have also been developing our in-engine modeling tools, which means that you can model straight in the editor. You don't have to go back and forth between other DDC tools. It's also now, we just released Unreal Engine 5.1 this week. And with that, we have greatly improved our ability to animate in-engine. And of course, we continue to improve our OpenXR implementation, which allow you as a developer to develop for a wide range of HMDs and solutions without having to even actually have all of those HMDs on hand, and using the open standard that is OpenXR is capable to deploy for all of these headsets. I also will have to talk about Nana and Lumen, because you can't really mention Unreal Engine 5 without talking about our new rendering features. And these tools, I'm really looking forward to the possibility of being able to do them at a high frame rate for VR.
Exciting, yeah. We've seen that you've done took a stance on the working with OpenXR, and it's exciting for us. Of course, it's we've also developed Vario's dedicated also to develop our standards over OpenXR in combination with our native API. So we've developed the human eye resolution functionality and API there, so it works together with Unreal 5 very well. So what's your thoughts on the experience of Unreal Engine and working together with the Vario's headset?
It was kind of surreal, and I was giving a bunch of demos here in the office when I received the XR3. It was very impressive to see sort of using the mixed reality features and doing the MetaHuman demo that you guys provided us with, of seeing like, I'm looking over here in the office because that's where we placed the MetaHuman in mixed reality, and had a bunch of people over to sort of just be able to look, and we're sort of just looking at the insane detail, and all of a sudden you start thinking a little bit about like, oh, that's right, we need to make sure that like the zipper is actually modeled properly, because you can actually see like each individual tooth of the zipper itself. Exactly. That was super impressive, and also being able to I was able to read regular sized font on my computer monitor through the pass-through cameras, and that was super impressive. It's capable of actually, doing some simple edits and workflow without taking the HMD off. And for someone who's wearing and taking on and off HMDs all day, that's something that I'm really looking forward to, being able to not have that friction as part of my iteration.
Yeah, the mixed reality mode is cool. So you were one of the early ones to get access to our Varjo Reality Cloud running Unreal apps there. So what was you tried it out. So what was your experience from it?
I was excited because I've been promised been told about the possibility of doing offload compute in the cloud for a long time. And it's sort of been this thing that's, out there, might happen someday, and being actually able to use it myself, not on my computer in my dev environment, and not like a dedicated demo. That was really impressive, just being able to upload the experience to the cloud and then running it. I did have to check Task Manager to make sure that there was nothing going on there, because it was a little bit difficult to believe that it was actually working. And so it was quite impressive. I tried a Cornerstone demo. That was super cool, being able to see all like trees, foliage, and like a large open world, and having that stream to the HMD, as well as motion controllers, and then also being able to use all the mixed reality features, sort of blended together with everything that's being rendered on the cloud.
Awesome, that's super cool. So what's next for you in Unreal in VR and XR?
Well, we're looking to make the deferred renderer a first-class citizen for VR, because most of our new rendering features only work with the deferred renderer. And so me and the team are working together to try to make the deferred renderer possible to do high-end VR experiences using the deferred renderer. Primarily, the forward renderer is what folks have been using in the past. But if you want to use some of our new rendering features, as well as a lot of the, possibilities that you can't do using the forward render, we want these to be as good as they possibly can using the deferred render, and that will enable you to be able to use Nana and Lumen for VR, since those are required. You're required to use a deferred render to use Nana and Lumen.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. So thank you so much, Victor, for jumping in, and I'll hand it over now to.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
ELSA offers virtual reality and mixed reality for professionals. Vario headset are the most suitable and unique product for them. Varjo Reality Cloud will allow us to scale immersive workload in Japan. Customers will be able to experience the latest 3D graphics while reducing cost.
At ISID, we envision a photorealistic metaverse that is easy to access and operate in.
To create a high-quality 3D content, ISID's clients use engines like Unity in the design departments. Cloud-based solutions are a popular topic with our clients. They want to reduce the cost of hardware needed to run high-end graphical experiences and make it easier to manage 3D content across their organizations. Varjo Reality Cloud is extremely simple to use.
Unity files can be uploaded and streamed in a matter of clicks. First click New, select the Unity asset and upload it. Then other users can simply click to stream.
This is no longer a technology reserved for engineers. Having such a high streaming quality will allow for even the most graphically intensive experiences to be shown as the creators intended.
It's amazing that streamed content from Varjo Reality Cloud is on par visually with content running on very high-end local hardware.
Human eye resolution for immersive streaming is an absolute game changer.
これはまさに日本の没入型コンテンツの未来です。
So there you go, amazing stories from the users of Unity from all around the world. But now I actually have a very, very special guest joining us live here in Vario HQ. Please welcome Jan Christian from Unity. Welcome.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today, so thank you for inviting and having me here today. And hello everybody, Jan Christian Lehtinen from Finland. I'm working in the Unity technologies and taking good care of our software partners such as Vario here.
Yeah, and Unity and Vario have actually a quite long history together. Since Vario was founded, also the founder of Unity, David Helgason, believed in the story and backed the story and helped us go going. How do you feel inside Unity working there, the relationship Vario and Unity working together? What's your view?
Well, first of all, as a Finn, I have to say that I'm extremely proud of Vario and to see the Vario's growth and the products that you come. In the modern world, it's rare to see that new companies come and build great products. And you keep coming with yet again new great solutions and products, so love it. And then as a person in Unity Technologies, my personal opinion is that what you are doing now, empowering people, giving the ability to reach, enable the creators, that resonates well within our missions as well, though, enabling creators everywhere.
And this mission that you have, making world a better place when there's more creators in it, that's something that I personally absolutely love. How do you feel now with the Reality Cloud becoming real? How do you feel that affecting now all the creators and developers of Unity?
Well, first of all, I love it, and then I think you have solved a complex problem, because if I was a creator or developer before, I would have to use my local resources available. But now, you had done the hard part and brought it to the cloud as well. You have the reach, and it's available for everybody on the cloud nowadays. It's an amazing experience to have.
Yeah, thanks so much. And next up, we have a live demo for Jan Christian. So, Jan, why don't you put the headset on?
Let me give this a go, and glasses are okay.
Yes, glasses are okay. So while Jan is putting it on, we have a demo running from the Reality Cloud that you might see through the stream. But Jan, tell us a little bit, what are you seeing?
Well, do you see me smiling?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so for the people in the call or webinar, I'm now in the metaverse and I'm in the Varjo Reality Cloud. So what I can see is a lot of birds flying around, traditional Vario birds, and it looks beautiful. The quality is amazing, it's super smooth, and I can't tell the difference of what's real or what's here.
So if I wouldn't tell you that this is actually streaming from the Reality Cloud, would you be able to know it?
I don't think I could, to be honest. I think this is something new in that sense. Like I said earlier, it looks beautiful and it's so smooth that I wouldn't believe it is streaming over the cloud. Especially like if I think about latency and things like this, I don't see any. It's super low latency, very smooth.
How do you see this now that you're experiencing it live? What is the impact for the Unity developers and creators when they can create experiences that stream with human eye resolution from the cloud?
Well, imagine a world where everybody can create whatever have their vision in their mind, and now they have the tools and abilities to create it and bring it in front of them, and it looks like it's real. And if you're a Unity developer, like I saw a sneak peek on your Vario offices, you have people developing here inside the Varjo Reality Cloud. And I think it opens up a new world and world of possibilities for all creators in there. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, absolutely our own people do create and work with the headset on using the Reality Cloud at the same time streaming it. So we are definitely streaming our own dog food while doing it. Any final thoughts of this, this thing that you haven't seen before?
Well, in short, it's amazing. So for me as a gamer and a geek and a nerd, I know how hard it is to do something that looks like beautiful like this and have it running and streaming on cloud with low latency. So you really have built something amazing here. I can only imagine all the creators in the world, what possibilities this gives to them. So
that's great to hear. And final thing, are you now a believer to the Varjo Reality Cloud?
I'm a believer, yes. I like it.
Excellent. Well done. You can take the headset off. Big thanks for coming here. And now you heard it, you saw it. The Reality Cloud is real. Streaming is believing. And we continue together with Unity, to work together very closely, bringing more creators into the world, streaming through Varjo Reality Cloud with a human eye resolution, without any latencies. And big thanks for you being here. Big thanks for all the support that you have given to Vario.
For sure.
We are forever grateful for that one. And for everybody out there, if you're interested, please reach out to us at Vario, reach out to Jan Christian from Unity, and make sure that you experience the same thing that Jan Christian just experienced it in real time through the Varjo Reality Cloud.
Thank you for having me here today. It was an absolute pleasure. So, thank you.
Big thanks, man. And next up, we will hear a short greetings from AWS.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. I am Jonathan. I work at Vario here for the go-to-market cloud services. And I'm joined here today with Sam, who's the principal product manager for Amazon EC2. So what is cloud computing, and maybe a little more specifically, what's elastic compute?
Here at Amazon, we think of cloud computing as the on-demand delivery of IT resources via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing, which kind of really hits to that elasticity point you were asking about. So instead of buying, owning, and maintaining your own data centers and servers, organizations can acquire technology such as compute power, storage, databases, and other services on an as-needed basis from Amazon.
So more specifically, what are the G5 instances, and what are the benefits of these G5 instances?
Yeah, so the Amazon EC2 G5 instances are our latest generation of NVIDIA GPU-based instances that can be used for a wide range of graphics-intensive and machine learning use cases. So customers can use the G5 instances for graphics-intensive applications, such as remote workstations, video rendering, and gaming to produce high-fidelity graphics in real time. These can also be used for machine learning use cases, such as training and deploying models like natural language processing, computer vision, and recommender engines. The G5 instances feature up to 8 NVIDIA A10G Tensor Core GPUs and second generation AMD EPYC processors with up to 100 gigabits per second of network bandwidth and up to 7.6 terabytes of local NVMe SSD storage.
How does AWS ensure data security for use of their own cloud services? How does that work for them?
Yeah, so AWS has been architected to be the most flexible and secure cloud computing environment available today. Our core infrastructure is built to satisfy the security requirements for military, global banks, and other high sensitivity organizations. And this is based by a deep set of cloud security tools with over 300 security, compliance, and governance services and key features.
And that's something that is really important for everybody understanding, that their data is safe. Obviously, AWS is one of the largest companies in the world. They don't play around with things like security, and you guys have been doing it for a really long time. So that's awesome. And my last and final question: how now can edge and cloud computing help enterprises save between their budget? How does it scale with workloads? And then we can kind of wrap this up with also like heavy compute requirements too.
Here at AWS, we see 4 reasons why customers are moving so quickly to the AWS cloud. The first is agility. So AWS lets customers quickly spin up resources as they need them. The second reason is cost savings. Here at Amazon, we allow customers to trade capital expense for variable expense. So you can pay for your IT as you consume it. And then the third reason is elasticity. So customers are used to having to over-provision resources on premises to ensure that they have enough capacity to handle business operations at the peak level of activity. But with the ability to scale up and down, you don't have to do as much of that by using AWS. So it reduces cost and improves your ability to meet your user demands.
So, we're talking about scalability, we're talking about agility, we're talking about performance, we're talking about collaboration. And then on top of that, being a service that allows you to use right now the most highest fidelity, best experience, best VR, hardware on the market, whether it's the XR3, whether it's the VR3 or the Aero, all of these, work within Varjo Reality Cloud. And so, depending on how you want to build your program out, if you're using laptops, if you are concerned about collaboration, inside of Red, if you are, wanting to, have more control over the scalability and costs of these, and then also just the general maintenance of this. And Sam, I just want to thank you for joining me for this. And so super informative. Any last comments that you'd like to add to this?
No, thanks for having me. It was great chatting and super excited to see what we're able to build together with this partnership.
Great. Back here at Vario HQ. Thanks, Samantha. Varjo Reality Cloud runs on AWS, so we are super proud of that one and great to be in partnership. And now we have a Q&A section, so you guys have sent us great amount of Q&A. Please keep them coming. Matt and Urho together, we will answer all of those as much as we can. So let's get started. First question from Anon, aka the Anonymous. Can you talk about how the Reality Cloud serves up 3D objects? Did you have to build out a CDN? Did you use Akamai or another CDN? Does the CDN serving up 3D objects work the same way it would work for 2D images / videos or text? Urho.
So as our network is built on top of AWS, we don't use any other CDN network. So obviously we do utilize and make use of different storage solutions at AWS, but no CDN per se, as we're streaming directly from the servers as opposed to using a content delivery network to move files about.
Right, thanks. Next one from Oleg Tsurikov. What is estimated latency of Varjo Reality Cloud streaming? For me, there's no latency. for Matt, maybe you have a more technical answer.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's also a fairly straightforward answer. In the expected conditions with an okay enough broadband, it should be around 40 to 50 milliseconds post to photons. I mean, of course, that depends on your broadband as well, and whether you're in one of the official Vario countries, which likely you are. I'll just remind here that the recommended broadband is 30 megabits per second for Aero and 50 for XR3 and VR3.
Great, thanks. Another coming from Anonymous, you mentioned the rendering is happening in the cloud. Does that mean that the local headset GPU is not doing ray tracing, motion blurring, or any other rendering tasks? Is it correct to say that the Varjo Reality Cloud works in a similar way to Stadia or xCloud or other streaming gaming services? Urho.
Yes, absolutely. It's exactly right. I could do a joke, but won't do it. So Vario is running all the software on the cloud, streaming the end result to the laptop and then to the headset from there. The very important point is that the laptop is doing late stage reprojection, which is basically mitigating completely the minuscule latency that we have for your point of view. Latency impacts interaction, but it does not impact your point of view. So you always see perfectly every single photon is coming from the point that you're actually looking at, whether it's XR or VR.
Cool, thanks. Next from Douglas, what are the key requirements of the laptop to use with the Varjo Reality Cloud? Matt?
I'm going to take that one. So first, you could check out the most detailed requirements with literally all the needed details. If you go for and if you search for Varjo Reality Cloud system requirements, probably the main bit to highlight would be that in terms of the recommended, not minimum requirements. We're always going for the recommended requirements to make sure that the quality is okay. The recommended requirements for Aero in terms of GPU are 360 and upwards, and for VR3 and XR3 it's 370 and upwards. The important thing to mention here would be that actually what we've seen in real life and in practice, especially when it comes to the laptops, that the bigger limiting factor is usually not even the GPU or CPU, but the routing of the USB slots in your laptop. They should be routed through a GPU. But other than that, the main things to have in mind would be 360 for Aero and 370 for XR3 and VR3, and then for the detailed requirements, check out Varjo Reality Cloud system requirements.
Great, thanks. The next one from Douglas. First we take one from Bob Franza. Will you ever support Mac OS iOS devices? And congratulations on all your exceptional accomplishments. Thanks, Bob. That's super great to hear. That's a roadmap question. So
yeah,
what do you think about this Mac OS, iOS?
Sure, yeah. Thank you for the question, Bob, and thank you for the good words. There is a lot that we have coming in this department. So there's a lot of third-party devices, both when it comes to the 2D surfaces and the 3D surfaces. So that kind of gives you a hint of that we're going to be adding support of also some of the potentially competitor headsets. Now, when it comes to the Apple products specifically, you could expect to see the iPhone client probably sometime real soon in the next few months. And then the Mac OS, no matter how we love it, is probably the question of a slightly later time. But with respect to iPhone, it should be there relatively soon.
Great, thanks. Can't wait. It's going to be amazing. So now this from Douglas. So this needs a headset with foveated rendering to work, correct?
Well, I mean, our headsets do prize themselves with foveated rendering technology. That's one of the benefits. Not all of the headsets have that. When it comes to some of the other third-party devices, we're also going to be adding the support of the 2D devices where kind of foveation is not a relevant concept. So the answer is, not necessarily. But that's one of the technologies that gives us the edge in terms of the quality with reasonable bandwidth through some very smart compression and foveation.
I think the sad fact is that the consumer headsets don't need it. So we can give as good quality as they can produce without it.
Yeah, exactly. Parisa sent us a question. Does Reality Cloud compatible with Unity as well? I can take one. Yes, compatible with Unity and Unreal. So that is great. Anonymous, what hardware is in the cloud? What GPUs or FPGA technologies are you using in the AWS G5 data centers?
Yeah, so we're using basically GPUs comparable in the consumer terms to the 3080 series of graphics cards with slightly higher GPU RAM available at their disposal at, if I recall correctly, at 24 gigs. So that's the baseline model of the compute. And it's really important to understand that when the application is running in the cloud, it doesn't anymore run these compositor-related stacks, the late-stage reprojection. So that GPU is really at the disposal of the application, not application and the frameworks. So it gives you much more power compute.
I'd like to add something to this from the less technical perspective. I mean, of course, everything that Urho said is correct, but also another more business-minded kind of input there would be that for the business consumers, we are abstracting away all the worries about the cloud from them. So there's no need to worry about what's in there as long as it runs the software. And now we're going with the best cloud instances that AWS has to offer. In the early prototyping stage, we went with GeForce that at the time were the best ones. You know, when AWS upgrades to something cooler, likely we will go along with them. So just be sure that whatever is the thing supporting the backbone in the cloud is the best available out there.
Absolutely, great answer. And one of the driving factors of the Reality Cloud is the simplicity. You don't need to worry about it, it just works. From Douglas, will this work with the Quest Pro? Will it need to be wired to the laptop? Again, a roadmap related question.
Yeah, sure. I mean, conceptually, as I hinted, we are going to be adding the support of various third-party headsets, being both the tethered one and being the untethered or hybrid ones in the untethered mode, which the Meta ones do fall into that category. I can't comment on the particular timing. Technology-wise, there's nothing stopping us there, and the decision is mostly driven by the commercial prioritization of what our customers are mostly using. But technology-wise, of course, we can add the support of such a headset, and there is going to be the support of the third-party untethered or hybrid headsets in the untethered mode.
Cool, excellent. Next one is interesting. Anonymous is asking, can you talk about the potential to integrate Vario with Roblox engine/infrastructure? What are the features you'd like to see from Roblox to enable high-quality VR experiences on the headset? Thanks, Urho.
Okay, I think it's one of the things that hasn't come up previously, as from our B2B customers, as that's the market we're primarily serving with the Varjo Reality Cloud. I think if you have great ideas what we should be doing in that domain, we're all open ears, and technically there is nothing prohibiting us from running the Roblox rendering in the Varjo Reality Cloud. So should there arise a good idea, then I'm sure we can make that happen.
Cool, exactly. Terence asks, does XR3 work with the Reality Cloud? Yes, it does. Mark Templeton asking, are you pursuing FedRAMP authorization in the US for VRC? FedRAMP? Urho?
We're going to take that one offline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't know.
Okay, good. Jerome is asking, is AWS cost included in the cost of Reality Cloud or extra dependent on usage? If included, can you request increased compute for particularly intensive applications?
Great question. The simple answer is yes, it's included. When you're buying Varjo Reality Cloud, you're not buying the components like the rendering component and the fleet management component and then the server time. You're buying a service, and everything that is included in that service, that's part of the value proposition. Now the $299 per concurrent user offering is capped at 60 hours per month or equivalent of that, which based on all the stats that we've had is more than enough for all the users. If you think about it, that's several hours, equivalent of several hours of virtual reality full-time work literally every working day. Now, of course, if that's not enough for someone, there's always an option of topping up and buying additional licenses that come with the additional amount of hours. But case in point is that everything is included in one price tag, because this is a service, this is a holistic service including account management, fleet management, all the rendering compression algorithms, device management, file management, and we like repeating that we're not just reselling the cloud capacity. It's not as simple as that.
Cool, thanks. Next one is interesting from Anon. Can we access the Reality Cloud service in Unity Editor without making a build?
No. You need to do a build, upload it as we just saw in the previous instructions, and then that build can be then executed on the cloud.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Urho. For Matt, from Alexander, can I use headsets from other companies with the Varjo Cloud?
Yeah, sure. I mean, not yet, not right now, but as I was saying and I was hinting to, the support of various third-party headsets is coming very soon. Yeah, you should expect to see it in the next few months.
Cool. A little bit related to the roadmap as well. Is collaborative approach possible with the Reality Cloud and Unreal?
Collaborative approach is 100% possible. So we've launched the Autodesk VRED support with the baked-in collaboration functionality. You could have several people jumping into the same session. With the Unity and Unreal projects, at first, we've launched the functionality with kind of a single user in mind. You could have, though, several people launching the same Unity project at the same time. The multiplayer capability from within one same Unity or Unreal project is coming soon.
Cool. I think this is for Urho. Next from Anon. What data does the headset send to the cloud in order to request a new rendered screen? Is it sending orientation slash accelerometer data, for example? And how frequently would it send such data?
So we're sending the post data for the headset orientation at approximately 200 Hertz. Then we're sending the controller position data at approximately 90 Hertz.
Cool, excellent. I think we have time for two more. So again, roadmap related. Does Reality Cloud support audio? And if so, in what level spatial audio? And is it possible to get audio stream from glasses to the cloud processing? What's audio on the roadmap for Reality Cloud?
That is a good question. So first, does Varjo Reality Cloud support audio? The answer is yes. Whenever it comes to the VRED.vbb files or the Unity and Unreal projects, whatever audio they have baked into them, it's being played back to you. So in this sense, it's more or less as expected. When it comes to the two-way audio and the communication, we have made a prudent decision at this point not to rebuild Zoom or Teams within our company. Zoom or Teams have done a great job on that one so far. Oddly enough, we have witnessed that for most of the commercial customers, they already do have a habit whenever they're running various VR experiences of just having something like Zoom or Teams running in the background for the actual human-to-human communication. Now, is this the most convenient approach? Although that one is obviously the prevalent one in the market. No. Is this something that we maybe are going to address in the future? Maybe yes.
Yeah. Cool, thanks. This is a great question here from Anonymous. With XR3 Reality Cloud, so the mixed reality, can 3D models be persistently anchored in the same place for all users? So for one user in one place, the second user takes XR3, it's in the same place.
This is how it works, for example, with the VRED sharing sessions. If we were to have a sharing session right now in this room and there's a car or any other object, as a matter of fact, one of the models that we have as part of our demos is our own XR3 headset, which is very trippy when you have a virtual one at the same scale and the real one in the other hand. We would all see it in the same place.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Again, for Matt, for you, roadmap related, will you support in the future setting up a Varjo Reality Cloud on a private cloud? Also any idea of the costs? This is necessary for security of the content. From Anonymous, private cloud and Varjo Reality Cloud.
That is a great question. So first, 10 seconds on the terminology, just to make sure that we have the same basis. There's private cloud. And by that, what is usually understood is services from the usual providers like AWS or Azure that are managed by a certain client. Then there's something that is sometimes referred to as the public cloud, but the more correct term would be someone's managed cloud. In this case, it's going to be a Vario managed cloud. And then there's also the on-prem deployment where someone has everything on-prem, everything built in-house, very limited pieces of software from the usual providers like AWS, GCP, or Azure. So true on-prem, private client managed cloud, and Vario managed cloud. Of those three modes, our default deployment mode is the Vario managed cloud. It doesn't mean that it's insecure. It is actually very secure. Any security professional would be amazed by the amount of various certifications and endorsements that this kind of mode of work has. We don't really retain access to the data. We just don't have it even in that mode. That's the go-to mode. It's secure enough for most of the customers. Now, for those who still would want to go with their managed cloud, as long as it's the AWS managed cloud, we're open to that. Just reach out to our sales team, and we're going to hook you up with the right sales engineer. For the moment, we're not doing the true on-prem. This is a somewhat different business model that requires way more resources for the deployments, but that's something that we anticipate down the line we might be open to.
Good, excellent. Michael is asking, are there specific features of local build that would not be available in the Reality Cloud? So some features that would work when you run a build locally, but are not yet in the cloud streamed version.
That's a good question. I'd be curious to make a test and have someone try their projects in the cloud and then locally and see what it comes out and whether they notice any difference. The reason why I'm saying that and why I'm starting with that is because we have worked through most of the major visual features that people usually do pay attention to make sure that their support is there first when it comes to the cloud advanced mixed reality features and whatnot. Foveation works, depth-based hand occlusion works, masking tools in the back of Vario Labs, they do work, and a bunch of other things. Of course, there's some other super advanced features that we have not yet worked in that are of lower priority that the customers just haven't demanded yet, like hand tracking. There's a lot of other features in place for that one that people use more commonly, like controller tracking that are in place though. But in general, most of the advanced mixed reality features, especially the ones that people do care about, are already in there.
Cool, thanks. Final one from Anonymous. Is there a trial program to evaluate how our Unity build looks with the Reality Cloud?
Yes.
Short and sweet, yes.
Yeah, short and sweet. Sign up to the form on the website or reach out to one of our account executives and they're going to hook you up with a trial.
Great. And I think that's it. We are out of time and also out of questions. So pretty much, I would say all the questions are answered. Big thank you for joining this session on the Varjo Reality Cloud, supporting now Unity and Unreal. Big thanks, Matt. Big thanks, Urho. Any final thoughts?
Thank you, Jussi.
Thank you, Jussi. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a great weekend, and streaming is believing. See you on the next webinar.